Week 11 just finished up, and I went a phenomenal 12-2 on my predictions, including some nice picks like the Bills over the Chiefs and the Steelers over the Ravens, just to name a few. But anyways, let's just get right on to Week 12, where the Bengals, Jaguars, Jets, Bills, Falcons, and Saints are all on a bye week, and we'll be starting off with the Steelers at the Browns on Thursday Night Football. As I mentioned, the Steelers are coming off of a huge win against the Ravens, and the Browns just got clobbered by the Saints of all teams. I could see this game being closer than you'd expect, but I'm still going to go with the Steelers to win on the road 24-13. Now for the Titans at the Texans. And the Cowboys kept it interesting against the Texans for a while, but eventually Houston ran away with it. I'm still not super impressed with the Texans, but the Titans are not a good football team. I'll take the Texans in this one 24-10. Up next we have the Vikings at the Bears. The Bears are coming off of a heartbreaking loss on a blocked field goal against the Packers, but from what I've seen, the Bears offense looked a little better without Shane Waldron. Of course, better was a low bar after the last couple weeks, but hey, it's something. The Vikings took care of business last week, and Sam Darnold seemed to have a bounce-back game. But even though I'll probably regret it, I kinda see an upset brewing here. I'm gonna take the Bears to stun the Vikings in Chicago 23-20. Although picking a Matt Eberflus-led team to beat a playoff contender is not a decision I have confidence in. Now for the Cowboys at the Commanders. Like I said, the Cowboys hung in there against the Texans for longer than I thought they would, but I don't think they can really compete with good teams at this point, and the second half of that Texans game showed that. The Commies didn't look great against the Eagles, but I still think they're a good team, certainly much better than the Cowboys. So I'll pick Washington to win 24-16. Now we have the Patriots at the Dolphins. And while the Patriots are clearly a bad football team, they look to have a franchise quarterback in Drake May. Meanwhile, the Dolphins have been beating up on bad teams like the Rams and Raiders to try and get themselves back in the playoff hunt. I think the Dolphins take care of business and win 27-20. Now for the Chiefs at the Panthers. The Panthers and Bryce Young haven't looked quite as bad in recent weeks, and they're coming off their bye week, but I don't really think they stand a chance here. The Chiefs are coming off of their first loss of the season, but there's no shame in losing to a team like the Bills. And I think this will be a perfect bounce-back game for the Chiefs to win on the road 30-17. Now for the Buccaneers at the Giants, and apparently the Giants just benched Daniel Jones for Tommy DeVito. And if I'm being honest, I think that makes them scarier. As for the Buccaneers, they're still pretty injured, but there's a chance Mike Evans comes back this week. And coming off their bye week, I still don't think they should lose to the Giants. I'll pick the Bucs to win this one on the road 24-20. Now we have the Lions at the Colts. Anthony Richardson looked good in his return to the starting role, but I still don't think the Colts stand a chance in this game. Coming off of a 46-point win, and no, that's not a typo, I think the Lions take this one on the road 33-20. Now for the Broncos at the Raiders, and the Broncos destroyed the Raiders the first time they met, and they're coming off of a dominating performance against the Falcons. While on the other hand, the Raiders look like one of the worst teams in the league. Maybe there could be a potential upset here, but I'm still going to take the Broncos to win this one 27-17. Now for the Cardinals at the Seahawks, and this is a tough one. The Seahawks finally stopped shitting the bed and beat the 49ers last week, so of course I was working and I couldn't even watch that game. But the defense seems to have turned the corner lately. Who would have thought getting players back from injury would make a defense look better? As for the Cardinals, they look like a legitimately good football team. It should be tough for them playing on the road, and in all honesty, I feel like the Seahawks should win this one. But just because I don't have much confidence in them, I think the Cardinals escape with a narrow 23-20 win. Next up, we have the 49ers at the Packers. Taking the Bears over the Vikings was an obvious risky upset pick, but outside of that, this is the game I'm the least sure about. The 49ers don't look very good, and they have to play on the road against a very solid Packers team. But I just don't trust the Packers that much right now, and because I'd love to see the 49ers keep losing, I just feel like it's not going to happen. I could easily see this game going either way, but I'm going to take the 49ers to bounce back and win 23-20 on the road, unfortunately. And on Sunday Night Football, we have the Eagles at the Rams. The Eagles looked a bit shaky against the Commanders at first, but they wound up putting together an impressive performance. As for the Rams, they took care of business and Matthew Stafford had himself a nice day, but it was against the Patriots. I could definitely see this game being much closer than it should be, but I still think the Eagles are going to take it 27-24. And finally, on Monday Night Football, we have the Ravens at the Chargers. The Ravens looked pretty sloppy against the Steelers, which seems to be an annual tradition at this point. Meanwhile, the Chargers almost chargered and blew a 21-point lead against the Bengals, but they were able to regain control and get away with a much uglier win than it had any right to be. I still think the Chargers are a very solid team, but I think the Ravens are going to bounce back this game. I'm going to take the Ravens in this one 27-23. And there's all my picks. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe.